Good morning, students. Let us study today types of chemical reactions. First type of chemical reaction is combination reaction. Now first I uploaded this image here that how magnesium ribbon burns in oxygen. See the dazzling shine you can see in the image. Magnesium ribbon burns in oxygen with dazzling shine. Now this is a combination of magnesium and oxygen to produce magnesium oxide. So, how can we speak? When a magnesium ribbon burnt in oxygen, it gets converted to magnesium oxide. Look at the reactants. Reactants are magnesium and oxygen, and the product is magnesium oxide. It's not only the example of combination reaction, but we can also call it an example of combustion reaction. Okay. Now, next type of chemical reaction is decomposition reaction. Now, what's the meaning of decomposition reaction first? Decomposition means splitting of a complex compound into simple ones. Now, let's see the types of decomposition reactions. So, first type of decomposition reaction is thermal decomposition. Look at the image. What I have shown this picture is actually thermal decomposition of lead nitrate. What can you observe, students, here? You can see, I think, brown color fumes in the test tube. This brown color fumes clearly indicates that lead nitrate has decomposed into the simple compounds. And this brown color gas which is evolving is a characteristic nitrogen dioxide gas. Look at the equation. Lead nitrate, when heated, breaks down into the simple compounds. Here is the equation. The lead nitrate is breaking into 2 moles of lead oxide, 4 moles of nitrogen dioxide, and 1 mole of dioxygen gas. To balance the equation, you can write 2 before lead nitrate's formula, which is the reactant. Here, one more point is very important to understand, that what is the meaning of therm here? T-H-E-R-M. Therm means heat. What we supply in the reaction, that is. Now, third type of decomposition is electrolytic decomposition reaction. It is also known as electrolysis of water. See the image. What you will find here? You can see ever ready battery. Battery is used to supply direct current or DC. Now, why direct current? Because direct current is responsible to break a compound into its constituent. Here your compound is water, which is taken in the container. And you can see the bubbles also in the image. And this bubbling is clearly indicating that water is breaking down into its constituent, that is hydrogen and oxygen. Now look at the equation. What we can write is, when direct current is applied to acidulated water, it decomposes into hydrogen and oxygen. And here is the equation. Now one more word, acidulated. What is the meaning of this acidulated water? Acidulated means when water is mixed with few drops of sulfuric acid. Now what do we do this? Since we know, students, that water, say pure water, is the poor conductor of current. When few drops of acid mixed into water, it becomes a very good conductor. So this is a required thing to carry out the process called electrolysis of water. Now, third type of decomposition is called photochemical decomposition. Here photo stands for sunlight. There are some photosensitive compounds which on exposure to sunlight breaks down into its constituent. For example, silver bromide. Formula of silver bromide is AgBr. It breaks down into pure metallic silver and bromine. Now let's go for the next type of chemical reaction. And that next type after combination and decomposition is displacement reaction. Now, how can I define displacement reaction? So we can define displacement reaction this way, that when a more reactive metal, you can see on the slide it is clearly mentioned, Fe is more reactive. So what we can say, when a more reactive metal like iron displaces a less reactive metal, that is copper, from its salt solution, it is known as displacement reaction or metal displacement reaction. Here you can see the equation and image as well, that iron nail dropped into copper sulfate solution. So before dropping it, the aqueous solution of copper sulfate is blue, and after, when this iron nail is dropped into the solution, after half an hour, what you will observe, that the solution turned green in color. That green solution is the aqueous solution of FeSO4, iron sulfate, and copper deposits on iron nail. So this is known as metal displacement reaction. Now another type of chemical reaction is double displacement reaction. Look at the image, one image along the reaction and the picture which is shown here. That double displacement reaction, when takes place between aqueous solution of potassium iodide and aqueous solution of lead nitrate, then what happens? You can see in the first picture, in both the beakers, aqueous solution of Ki and aqueous solution of lead nitrate are looking like water, transparent completely. But as soon as it is added into each other, see what happens. In the second slide you can see here, yellow precipitate started producing or appearing. So what is this? This is actually displacement of each other's ion of the two aqueous solution we have taken. Since in this reaction a precipitate come into existence, so reaction is also known as precipitation reaction. And what is the product which will produce after the reaction, that you can see here in the equation on the image, that is yellow precipitate of lead iodide and aqueous solution of potassium nitrate. Look at the equation I wrote here on the image on the slide, that when aqueous solution of potassium iodide mixed into aqueous solution of lead nitrate gives yellow precipitate, and this is the equation. And of course this is an example of double displacement reaction. Now the last type of reaction we are moving towards is redox reaction. Now let me tell you students, that redox reaction is the combination of two half equations, that is oxidation and reduction. Now you will wonder that what is oxidation and reduction? So let me tell you first, addition of oxygen is oxidation and addition of hydrogen is reduction. As it is clearly visible on the slide, again I am reading for you. If a substance gains oxygen or adds with oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized or oxidation process. And if a substance loses oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be reduced. Or in other words, you can say addition of hydrogen is reduction. Look at the equation. Copper plus O2 gives you CuO, copper oxide. And CuO plus H2 gives you Cu plus H2O. It means CuO reduced into copper. Okay, thank you students.